Apple just removed a vibe coding app called Anything from the App Store last week. It turns out they could have anything but a spot on the App Store. So they had raised $11 million. They were valued at $100 million and used to publish thousands of apps until Apple stopped them in their tracks. They also blocked updates to Replit and Vibe Code. It was a red wedding of a day for vibe coding apps. But here's what they didn't do. They didn't remove vibe coding from Xcode, which is their own development tool where they just added an AI integration with OpenAI and Anthropic, which is telling because Apple isn't against vibe coding. Apple is against vibe coding that doesn't go through Apple. And Tim Cook today said, "You shall not pass." So if you don't know about vibe coding, you're better off. It's when people who can't code describe what they want in plain English, usually with typos, and AI builds it for them. So a custom app or a website or a tool, whatever. No engineering degree, just vibes, man. 2 a.m., eating Cheetos and drinking coffee, conversing with a chatbot, creating a working product. Anything was one of the most popular apps for doing this on your phone. Apple's official reason for pulling it was that the app violated a rule that says apps can't execute code that changes their own functionality after review. And we believe that. It's a real rule that exists for real security reasons, but Apple approved Anything back in November with no issues. Thousands of apps were published through it. They're not even applying the rule consistently. An Indian vibe coding app called Emergent, with basically the same workflow as Anything, both incredibly vague multi-syllabic names, got approved the same week Anything got pulled, so they have the same functionality with a different outcome. If you think about what vibe coding actually does to Apple's business model, this is what's important. So right now, if you want a tool that does something specific, tracks your meals, manages your freelancing invoices, organizes your kids' soccer schedule, you go to the App Store, you scroll through 50 options that kind of do what you want, pick the least annoying one, and then live with it until it breaks. Apple takes 20% of every transaction. So that's one of the most profitable toll booths in the history of technology. But vibe coding skips the toll booth, or at least it changes who is the toll booth. You describe what you want, the AI builds it. It's not an app that kind of fits the bill, it's your app customized to you, your exact needs. So the App Store becomes what the Yellow Pages became after Google, which is something that used to be the only way to find what you need until suddenly it was just taking up space. This is the same thing that's happening to Google search right now. People are going straight to ChatGPT and Claude. The ground is shifting under the middlemen. We are entering a new world order. The Targaryens are losing power. Apple's middleman role is distributing software. Google's middleman role is organizing the internet. And AI is making them both look pretty redundant. The Xcode detail, though, does make the whole thing click. Apple just added AI coding tools from OpenAI and Anthropic directly in Xcode. So they said, you don't need a vibe coding app, you have us. If you vibe code inside Xcode, your app still goes through App Store review. Apple still controls distribution. Apple still gets its cut, that's fine. But if you code inside Anything or Replit or vibe code, apps where the finished product might never touch the App Store at all, that is a threat to Apple's revenue. Apple is all about vibe coding. We're cool, says Apple, but only if it flows through our system.